First off, we want to look at markets because futures are pointing to a lower opening for stocks this morning. Where do you hide in something like this? This comes after the Dow plunged better than 665 points on Friday. It was the worst week for stocks in 2 years, capped by that 2.5% sell-off on Friday. Here's what House Financial Services Chairman Jeb Hensarling told me on Sunday when I asked him about this market volatility and the broader economy.
Part of what's going on here, Maria, is we know that the Federal Reserve has built up a huge bloated balance sheet, and we know that at some point that has to unwind. The good news is if there was any time to unwind this balance sheet, it's now when the underlying economy and the fundamentals are so strong.
All right, we want to bring in Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs for the Treasury Department, Tony Sayegh. Tony, it's good to see you.
Great to be with all of you. Good morning, Maria.
Your reaction to this market turmoil, we understand that the tax reform was good news, that boosted an economy, but now how worried are you about inflation and about rates spiraling out of control here?
Well, look, wages are up by 2.9%. That's the highest in 8 years. That wage inflation causes, obviously, markets to want to adjust to a level. Other indicators as well, looking at inflation and interest rates. But when you talk about the $8 trillion in value, Maria, that's been added since Donald Trump's been elected president, you're talking about 6% in S&P 500 growth in the last month alone. Obviously, the markets have responded very appropriately to so many of the good economic policies that have been coming through in the last year. We talk about tax reform a lot. That's a huge part of it. There's also all the deregulation and the regulatory relief agenda that the administration has pursued aggressively under President Trump. So when you look at the macroeconomic picture, you look at what people are saying as far as growth, the Atlanta Fed coming out with a very strong 5% number. We think we could have sustained 3% growth throughout this next year. When you look at jobs, the fact that we have the lowest unemployment in 17 years, and again, wages going up by 2.9%. That's meaningful, great, strong economic indicators that the American people are rallying around.
Yeah, but let me just point out one thing, because there was another headline on Friday that also, I think, is worrying people, and that is about Canada. And that Trudeau said he is willing to walk away from NAFTA deal. I mean, that was a big statement. I personally think that accelerated the decline on Friday when you got that headline out, that Trudeau. So I don't know. You can blow it on trade, can't you?
We've made no secret, Maria, that Donald Trump is fighting for the American worker and American companies to fight on a level playing field. We are renegotiating very old trade agreements that no longer work for the United States. We want fair and reciprocal trade. We work with all of our trading partners. We were just in Davos. I've been with Secretary Mnuchin at the G20 Finance Ministerial and G7. We've made this case consistently around the world. We just want a fair, level playing field for our workers and our products.
But Tony used the word renegotiate rather than rip up. I noticed. I think that was on purpose, right? Or no?
Sure.
In terms of NAFTA,
I would leave it to Ambassador Lighthizer, our trade representative, and others. But the reality is, look, we just want fair trade agreements, and we're willing to work with our partners to get them.
This next round is happening February 26th, and we're going to hear headlines out of it. This could keep this volatility going, Dagan.
And certainly people are watching for policy mistakes. One potential mistake, I'm sure you'll disagree with, is putting tariffs on washing machines and solar cells, solar panels. People worry about that because it's like, how aggressive is this administration going to be with slapping tariffs on, because it increases prices for consumers. You start the conversation of you're going to be importing inflation, driving up interest rates in an environment where this country, given the debt it's saddled with, can handle significantly higher rates. But again, you have to be careful about what you do, even the little teeny policy maneuvers like that, which maybe that was a shot across the bow for Mexico and Canada going into this renegotiation.
And is it aluminum and steel next?
Well, look, the bottom line is we are willing to talk to our partners. We want to renegotiate these deals to make it fair for the American worker. We're becoming so much more competitive. Maria, you were in Davos and you saw President Trump's message to the world. We're open for business, and we are a stronger America, a stronger American economy as a result of his policies. But look, we are going to make sure that we stand up for America first. But as we've made very clear, that doesn't mean America alone.
Has anybody contacted the president and told him not to tweet about the stock market anymore? Because, again, he's made the record-breaking run in the stock market, as the Wall Street Journal called it, selling the stock market as central to his economic record. Well, the stock market, past presidents, I'll name Ronald Reagan as one, hesitated to talk about the market going up or down because they didn't want to. Again, when you try to take credit for it on the way up, then you're going to own it when it falls. So has he put you guys in a bind? Now you can't just recite the job numbers or the growth numbers, but you've got to talk about the stock market, Tony.
Tony just texted him this morning. He's on it. Don't worry about it.
Look, Dagan, mean, I think the president is very proud of the economy that his policies have helped lead to. We're talking about 200,000 manufacturing jobs since he's become president. We're talking about getting back to a conversation that we could actually get 3% economic growth, where 1% or 1.5 is no longer the new normal. We're talking about America reasserting its economic dominance, its energy dominance around the world again. We're talking about more deregulatory action taken by this president than most of his predecessors combined. This is all the stuff that I think President Trump feels very good about. And he sees that the average American, for the first time in a long time, feels that they can be a part of this growing economy again. Optimism across the board is high. Consumer, small business, manufacturing. And optimism is not an academic barometer. That's a practical effect. That leads to more spending, capital spending, consumer spending, and reinvestment. And that's why we feel so good about where the economy is today.
So President Trump kind of alluded to tax reform 2.0 last week when he was speaking in West Virginia. Yeah. Are you guys actually working on that? Trying to literally, because the Democrats are trying to hammer the Republicans about not making the individual tax cuts permanent. But are you actually working on something else in the Treasury?
Dagan, you and I have talked about this. Maria, all of us have talked about this. We would have loved to have made the middle income tax cuts permanent. Yeah. We hope this year we can work with our Democratic partners to get it there. You see the positive effect of tax reform. You see when you've lowered the top rate on the corporate side from 35 to 21.
But first, you got a budget showdown this week. You got a budget showdown this week.
Yeah, and look,
worry about a shutdown?
Well, I think we're going to obviously all work together to make sure that doesn't happen. The reality is, and the president has said, Washington can no longer work this way. It's dysfunctional when you go from one continuing resolution to another to another. We want a 2-year budget deal. We want to get some real comprehensive budget reforms passed as well. This is not fair to the American people that we have to keep kind of kicking the can down the road and playing these types of games. So that's exactly what Washington is designed to do, unfortunately.
Is there any signal that the Democrats are really going to come to the table when you negotiate?
Look, I think most Democrats know that thousands of dollars of bonuses to millions of workers from hundreds of companies and billions in reinvestment and higher minimum wages by over 40 companies is not crumbs. I hope they'll join us and make the middle income tax cuts permanent. That would be very helpful.
All right, we will leave it there. And we didn't even get to the dollar.
Yeah, please talk about the currency.
I think we talked about that quite a good amount, Maria.
Tony Sayegh, everybody. We'll take